Dr. Kanimozhi, NVN, Somu.
Thank you,
Please,
Honorable
thank you.
Vice Chairman, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. Sir, on the outset, this budget is yet another failed budget by a Honorable Finance Minister. We have to appreciate her for her consistency. Her consistency to fail in 9 consecutive times is a record. Her consistency is so good for herself and for her party and for her Nagpur bosses, but not for the country. Sir, in the last few years, when the budget speeches echoes through Kural, the people of my state console themselves, at least our language has found a voice, even if our state has not found any space in the budget allocation. But this year, even that symbolic acknowledgement is absent, leaving the people of my state feeling both physically neglected and culturally unheard. So I start with my budget speech quoting Thirukural sir. Velundru vendri tharuvadu mannavan, kolundru kodadu enin, which means power may win battles, but justice wins hearts and stability. So this Union Budget 2026 is anti-poor and detached from the country's economic realities. This budget is faceless, baseless, and visionless budget, sir. Sir, this budget offers no relief to workers, farmers, salaried middle-class people, or the unemployed, while continuing to prioritize the big corporate interests. Sir, this budget exposes the blind commitment of the BJP NDA government to a handful of corporate houses. The government cutting subsidies in critical sectors is very bad. The cuts in the food, fertilizer, and petroleum subsidy amount to the direct assault on the workers and peasants. Transfer to states has fallen by lakhs of crores, undermining the fiscal federalism. Sir, what Peraringer Anna said in 1966 is very much relevant about the colossal taxation and the meager returns. What right has this government to demand more and more taxes when the performance is of such a low order? I think that this government, after having taxed the people so much, has not given proper returns or proper accounts to the nation. Therefore, though I realize that I do not have the power to stop it, I can abet a crime of allocating colossal sums to this insufficient, inefficient, unrealistic and unresponsive and undemocratic government that is being carried on. But whatever may be the criticism that is offered on this side, they have the numbers and the logic and they play the game. Therefore, Mr. Vice Chairman, offering this criticism, we have to go to the other forum and receive justice from the only source, the first source, the primary source, the public. So, Chairman, we are confident that of getting a proper verdict. This budget, sir, would deepen inequality and worsen the ongoing economic crisis. The budget detached from the concerns of the masses and marked by deliberate vagueness. The Finance Minister has avoided giving scheme-wise allocations, calling it an attempt to obscure funding cuts. Sir, this government has failed to stimulate demand despite the economic survey's emphasis on domestic consumption. On agriculture, employment, the government had ignored demands for a legal MSP and continued to push anti-labor policies. It is a betrayal of the people, workers and the federal spirit. Sir, this budget failed to address the basic issues such as inflation and unemployment. Sir, the slogan Vikshit Bharat rings hollow as subsidies for food and fertilizers have been cut. It also underlined the push for private-led health care and education, and the focus is only on the corporate-friendly projects. Sir, in 2014, the price of 1 sovereign of gold was 28,000, but in 2026, it is 1,20,000. That means the price of gold has quadrupled in the last 12 years. Sir, in 2014, the value of Indian rupee, we all know, against the US dollar was 58.25. On Jan 28, 2026, it was 92.03. And the price of 1 liter petrol was 74 and diesel was 55. In 2026, the petrol is 102 and the diesel is 92. And even the domestic LPG cylinder was sold as 410 in 2014, but now in 2026, it's 853, breached rupees 1,000 2 years back. So the price of the essential commodities skyrocketed in the last 12 years, and the several products have gone beyond the reach of the common people. Sir, this honorable ministers of this government, including the Prime Minister, believing that announcing about the government decisions on the X platform is more important than announcing it in the floor of this August House. Such a disrespect to the Parliament, sir. So tariff reduction is not reciprocal. India has been tied into a monitoring system on its energy choices by the US. As per an order by President Trump, India-USA trade deal is nothing but a total surrender. India surrenders and US as one. இது எப்படி இருக்கு தெரியுமா சார்? நீ அவல் கொண்டு வா, நான் உமி கொண்டு வரேன். அதை நாங்க ரெண்டு பேரும் திண்ணையில உட்கார்ந்து ஊதி ஊதி தின்னலாம். What Trump says to Modi ji is, what is yours is mine, what is mine is my own. This is the concept right now, sir. சார் நம்ம தலை தப்பிக்கணும்னா சில சந்தர்ப்பவாத சுயநல புலிகள் யார் காலையும் பிடிக்க தயங்க மாட்டார்கள் என்பது காலை பிடித்தாவது காக்கா பிடித்தாவது தன்னை காப்பாற்றிக் கொள்ள நினைக்கும் கயவர்கள் வாழும் உலகில் அரசியல் அல்ல, இதெல்லாம் சாதாரணம் அப்பா என்று சொல்லக்கூடியவர்கள் தான் நம்மளுடைய ஒன்றிய அரசு. ஆஃப்டர் ஆல் தேவைக்கு காலை பிடிப்பதும் காலை வாரி விடுவதும் ஒரு சிலரின் கொள்கைதானே. Sir, I would like to remind the Honorable Finance Minister that there is a state in India which she conveniently forgot for reasons better known her political bosses. That state, according to the RBI data and her own economic survey, has ranked first in the country in many important sectors and in the top 3 positions in many other fields. The state has the biggest number of factories in India and have given employment around 25 lakh workers, and millions of migrant workers from northern India has greatly improved the livelihood of the people of this country. Sir, the state has achieved a record of 16% GDP. The state is a pioneering champion in decentralized development, is under the dynamic, dedicated, determined leadership of Chief Minister, who leads the game-changer government to ensure that development is not confined to its capital city, but extends to all the districts of the state. Sir, that state is Tamil Nadu, and its Chief Minister is Thalapathy M.K. Stalin, a pioneering champion of the Dravidian model government and the statement's par excellence. Sir, due to its great cultural heritage and architectural marvel combined with latest infrastructure, orderly and safe environment, Tamil Nadu is the most important state of domestic and foreign tourists, education and skill development. Tamil Nadu is leading from the front. Tamil Nadu's leadership in school completion and several pioneering programs in the country ensure that the government is dedicated to prepare the best environment for the next generation. Sir, Tamil Nadu excels not only in the IT sector, but also in the automobiles and electronics, which is the sign of stable governance, and that is Dravidian model success. All these data are a testament of the tremendous success of Chief Minister Stalin's Dravidian model of development. It is unfortunate that the Honorable Finance Minister is ungrateful to the state where she is born and raised. இந்த பட்ஜெட்ல அவர் பிறந்த வீட்டுக்கும் பயனில்லை, புகுந்த வீட்டுக்கும் பயனில்லை. எந்த மாநிலத்திலிருந்து எம்பி ஆகப்பட்டாரோ அந்த மாநிலத்துக்கும் பயனில்லை. இப்படி யாருக்கும் பயனில்லாத பட்ஜெட் தாக்கல் செய்வது நியாயமா? இப்படி இல்லாத மேடையில் ஒன்றில் எழுதாத நாடகத்தை நன்றாக படிக்கின்றார். இதையெல்லாம் காது கொடுத்து கேட்க வேண்டியது நமக்கெல்லாம் இடப்பட்டுள்ள தலையெழுத்தாக கருதுகிறேன். Sir, for every rupee the government borrows today, nearly 25 paisa comes from fresh borrowing, but out of that, almost 20 paisa goes to the payment of interests. This means only 4 paisa is actually available for the development. When borrowing is used largely to service past debt, not to build new assets, it signals deep fiscal stress and leaves little room for growth, welfare, and support to states. Overall, this budget shows the clear signs of poor fiscal management. The center keeps borrowing even for routine spending, and as a result, 26% of total expenditure and nearly 40% of revenue receipts now go only to the interest payments. To manage this pressure, the union government depends heavily on the cesses and surcharges that are not shared with states, shrinking their rightful share. So the finance minister has a soft corner for Bihar and Uttar Pradesh and all other BJP-ruled states. We are not complaining of that. But what about the other states? They are also in India. It is very unfortunate of the people of Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka, West Bengal to become out of syllabus for the madam. Sir, this is unconstitutional and undemocratic. ஒரு கண்ணில் வெண்ணெயை வைத்துக்கொண்டு இன்னொரு கண்ணில் சுண்ணாம்பு வைக்கக்கூடாது. Why this glaring partiality, sir? Sir, every taxpayer of this country from the salaried class expected more tax benefits for them in this budget, but nothing offered. The Minister of Finance has betrayed the middle-class population in the country. Why the union government is providing elixir to the states that are in their favor is throwing acid on the revenue-generating states like Tamil Nadu. To treat the demands raised by opposition party members with a stepmotherly attitude is a betrayal of democracy and cooperative federalism. Sir, the union government, which formulated an inefficient economic schemes like demonetization, imposing of GST in an haphazard manner, which led to the total failure of the Indian economy, especially the rural economy, which rely on liquid cash, has caused cash crunch and economic slowdown. It has broken the backbone of the Indian economy. That's why Indian economy is still crippled and unable to stand up. Our party founder leader, Peraringer Anna, used to say, Makkal Sevaye, Magesan Sevai. Sir, in democracy, service to the people is service to God. Don't forget to serve the people of the poor people of our great country. If you don't do that, they will throw out your power in no time. This year's budget is a Sunday budget promptly read by a Sunday finance minister. The role of the finance minister has become similar to a Sunday lawyer. The total budget size of rupees 53.47 lakh crore for 2026-27. Understanding the government spending and revenue sources is crucial. A significant portion of the government budget, about 20%, is allocated to interest payments on loans, which constitute the second largest expenses. After accounting for these payments and state shares, the remainder of the budget is directed towards critical sectors such as education, health, infrastructure, employment, and defense. Allocation for education falls way short. Despite a nominal increase in the education budget to 1.39 trillion, spending as percentage of GDP remains critically low, failing to meet the Kothari's Commission recommendation of 6%. The scarcity of the educational institutions and qualified teachers rather than overpopulation is a primary cause for the cooperative admission challenges in India. As far as health is concerned, fails to address the crucial need for affordable and accessible primary health care for ordinary citizens, with current spending at just 2% of GDP, far below the WHO organization's recommendation. There is a concern over the minimal benefits for farmers as critical issues like farm workers' support and MSP reforms were overlooked, leading to disappointment that budget lacks direct aid for farmers. The budget allocation for various sectors like education, health, employment generation, agriculture, environmental protection, MSME, the union government has just done a lip service only. This budget 2026 lacks the substantial impact promised, echoing unfulfilled promises from past budgets like the construction of 100 smart cities. While announcements in education, healthcare, and infrastructure sound appealing, the reality suggests minimal changes. Sir, before I conclude, I would like to remind the ruling dispensation one important piece of advice. ஏழையின் சிரிப்பில் இறைவனை காணலாம், ஆனால் அந்த ஏழையை சொல்லென துயரத்தில் ஆழ்த்தினால் ஏழையின் கண்ணீர் ஏவுகணையை காட்டிலும் சக்தி வாய்ந்ததாக அமைந்துவிடும். அது உங்களை தாக்கும் போது நீங்கள் இரத்த கண்ணீர் வடிக்க நேரிடும் என்பதை மறந்து விடாதீர்கள். நீங்கள் போற்றி ஆதரிப்பதும் சனாதனம் தர்மத்தை நாங்கள் நம்புவது, கடைபிடிப்பது சமதர்மத்தை மாண்புமிகு தமிழ்நாடு முதலமைச்சர் திரு மு க ஸ்டாலின் அவர்கள் வார்த்தைகளில் சொல்வதென்றால் சமத்துவம், சமூக நீதி, சமதர்மம், சகோதரத்துவம், மதசாரின்மை, மொழிப்பற்று, இன உரிமை, மாநில சுயாட்சி, ஒன்றியத்தில் கூட்டாட்சி ஆகிய அரசியல் பண்பாடுகளை கொண்ட மண் தமிழ்நாடு. இந்த லட்சியங்களை அடையும் பயணத்தில் நாங்கள் நிச்சயம் வெற்றி பெறுவோம். நன்றி, வணக்கம்.
What point of order?
Regarding honorable member of the DMK member, during her speech, she said, this is the attitude of the ruling party, catching the legs and surrendering to the people, especially American Trump. That is mentioning about the Prime Minister, sir. The Prime Minister's dignity is going down, sir. Narendra Modi is the Prime Minister of this country. We have to respect the Prime Minister.
Thank you.
But what?
Thank you. Shriman Suren Singh Nagar. Shriman Suren Singh Nagar.
धन्यवाद।